What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Cantina Jargon with your boy, Jargon. I'm Joe, and we got Caden with
What's going on?
Cantina Talk. We are back again, and we got a lot to talk about. We haven't talked in 2 weeks, so we got 2 episodes of Bad Batch,
Yes, sir.
and we are making progress on the Dark Force Rising trailer, slowly but surely, and we'll actually share some of those updates with you guys because I do want you to know it's still happening. It's very much still happening, but it's just it's a long process, and I want to be able to share some of this stuff, with you guys for sure. So,
And even with
um,
with that too, I'd say that even though the last one for the Heir to the Empire, the quality was insane, I think it's getting upped even further with this one. The level of quality and detail within the designs and the animation.
I agree. Shout out to Ben, who's our head animator for this particular trailer. He is killing it, I want to say, and the quality it does seem like a step up for me, especially with all the shading he's doing. But we'll share a short clip with you guys in a little bit. I do want to talk about Bad Batch though, since we were off for
Yeah.
2 weeks. But first, do you want to give a shout to your new channel member there
Yeah.
and kind of tell everyone what's going on in your channel?
Yeah. So Tony, thank you for becoming a member. This I got the notification that this happened while I was away before the stream happened, and I just want to say welcome and thank you. I didn't think I was gonna have anyone sign up for channel memberships, and I'm more than thankful for it. Anything that is gained from it will just be put back right into the channel and for their projects. But thanks for becoming part of the inner circle. Welcome to the squadron, as I'm calling it.
Yeah, shout out Tony. And he is the first, and he says thank you. And we have Ben, the
What's
man, the
going
myth,
on?
the legend, here with us now. So thanks, Ben, for joining. We're gonna share that little clip that you shared on your Instagram. Head on over to Ben's channel, subscribe there because he will be sharing updates kind of as things go along. I won't be posting any of the drafts to my channel. I'll be waiting until I have a full edited version of this thing. But if you want small updates and drafts, you can head on over to his channel or check into these live streams every once in a while. Here's his Instagram there, Star Wars Legends Art. Because we do love Star Wars Legends over here on these channels, guys. That's what we're here for. So that's what we're really here for. But let's talk about Bad Batch. Speaking of legends, though, Tantus is going to be like the place to be next
Yeah.
week.
Dude,
Finally,
we're like they can't delay it anymore. We're here. Like
right?
they cannot delay it any further. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad that we're here. And also too, I don't know if you saw in the trailer they released like 10 days ago, but we got new footage in that trailer of Tantus already.
Yes, agreed. I definitely saw a few clips, and you can definitely see Hunter flying with his black armor
Yeah.
on into what is presumably the atmosphere of Tantus. So they're going to disengage that ship and
And along with that,
work it in.
I believe Echo is the one who's dropping them off because we saw another footage with all of them with all the armor. Besides Wrecker still has his like shoulder pauldrons with his like yellowish markings on it.
Mm-hmm.
But Hunter, Wrecker, and Crosshair are all on Tantus fighting stormtroopers in the forest. It's in the trailer. I put it in my video today.
Yeah.
And I believe Echo is just gonna be providing like aerial support, just based off of like what it seems like with him dropping them off in the woods.
Do you think he's gonna like jack that other ship? Because he's on the other ship right now.
He might when we see him though, or sorry, when we see them getting dropped off, it's on the ship that they were with Rampart.
Interesting. I wonder how
But I don't know,
Echo
like
is making his way to that ship. If there's like
I'm assuming like through
a hatch.
yeah, the hatch in the hole, because like they did it all the time in Rebels. So I'm assuming,
Yeah.
but also too, like someone's got to stay with Rampart. No one's gonna trust him by himself.
Yeah.
Because he's still with them.
Yeah.
He's going to Tantus with them. So, I mean, it'd be interesting. Maybe he steals a Venator and orbital bombardments or aerial bombardments the like Tantus base. Who knows? I
That'd be
mean,
wild.
to like redeem himself. I don't know.
Well, it's supposed to be a
something I'm thinking
pretty
of.
short episode next week.
Yeah, but supposedly the finale is going to be an hour and 15 minutes. I'm not entirely sure how it is, but supposedly it's supposed to be long. obviously we'll wait
That
and
would
see.
that would be nice. It's definitely gonna be longer than I'd say 40 minutes. I think that's a given.
I sure hope so. If not, I'm gonna be a little upset. Like, don't
I
give us a
it
30-minute finale.
yeah, I can't take a 30-minute finale, especially because like the last couple of weeks, it's kind of just been like side mission to get us to Tantus, where we all knew we were going anyway. So it's like it kind of just sucks when you're just waiting for like something to happen. I
Yeah,
feel like that's kind of like right now, but w- hopefully something big's gonna happen this week. I mean, I'm kind of thinking it will.
I'm hoping so too. I definitely we're gonna be left on a cliffhanger, without a doubt. Because I mean, also too, with the title being for the finale, "Here Comes the Cavalry." Like we already know all of the underground as well as any other rogue cells of clones, probably even clones from 79's Cantina, sure going to show up to help. I feel like I put in my video. It's probably going to be like Exegol, like when everyone from the New Republic and everyone just shows up to help at the
Mhm.
end. I think that's how it's going to be because I mean, why else did you title it that? Like,
Yeah,
and obviously
yeah.
Rex and them aren't there right now. They're going to have to get there. There's no way that four clones are going to storm 3 to 4 mountain bases.
Right. No, I think the cavalry is Rex and company showing up for
Yeah.
sure. That makes sense. Yeah, I don't know, man. I still think a lot of them are gonna die, but like, I don't know. I mean, you released the kind of some finale predictions on your channel today, and I hadn't finished watching it yet, but um, you were speculating who might die and who might
Yeah.
not. So do you think any of the Bad Batch members live?
Okay, current members or former members?
Not including Echo.
Okay. If I had to guess, Wrecker, but that's
Yeah.
being optimistic. I think Crosshair and Hunter definitely are gonna bite the bullet. Wrecker
I
would be
think
the
so
only one
too.
that like maybe doesn't, but I almost don't see how he doesn't.
I just don't get I don't understand how they would keep any of them alive at this point. That's the thing I don't
Yeah, and
understand.
like where I can get behind with Echo is because he's technically not a member of the match anymore. Like he wasn't, and then he became one, and then he left, and now
Right.
he's kind of just helping out. So
Right.
I feel like it would come full circle because like Echo is carrying on his family's legacy, which was his second family. First it was Rex and Co, and
Mhm.
that was the Batch. And I feel like with him being the last one to join, him carrying on the lineage, so to speak, with Omega would be almost poetic. If that makes sense at all. Like if they go to like
Yeah.
Cutler Quane's house and just chill out there for a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, speaking of Omega, I would kind of like to see her die. Not because I want her, not because I don't like her character, not because I don't like her character. Her character's totally fine. Um, it's just like I feel like that would add some serious weight to the Empire in like this time period. It'd just be like, holy shit, like but you already know what's gonna happen. All the kids in there are gonna escape.
Yeah,
They're all gonna
yeah.
be fine. Like, there's gonna be all these force sensitive kids running around, which still doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. But I just kind of think like that's my issue with the time period is like there shouldn't be a whole bunch of force sensitives running around. So that's why I'm like, they could go Anakin dark, like you said in your
Yeah.
video. I would
I
be fine with it. I would actually be fine with it.
I mean, I would be fine with it too. I just feel like we're kind of gonna get like the ending to Logan almost a little bit, like with the kids running away in the forest
Mm,
in some way. Like
yeah.
if they escape, like that's. But I would love. To, okay, this sounds horrible. I would love to have Vader just come in and just murk everybody, or just somebody come in and just whether it's kids, clones, scientists, Zillowbeasts,
Just
it doesn't matter.
everyone.
Like just
That would be
yeah.
wild if Vader. I mean, I kind of hope Vader shows up, but at the same time, like I'm kind of starting to think like we're not going to see Vader in this show.
I don't. I mean, like I'm very half and half on it. Like I could see it, but at the same time, like I feel like he would have to like already be alluding to it. I definitely though, if the Zillowbeast is still there, I could see them like setting it loose and that being what helps
Hmm.
destroy Tantus for the time being.
I could see that. That
Because
makes
I mean, it's
sense.
already trapped inside. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean the base is huge, so it definitely could be in there still.
oh yeah, like in the fact that like we're only seeing this small little portion of it compared to what the
Yeah.
full thing is insane.
Right. Right.
At least according to
Exactly.
legends, anyway, with how big Tantus is on the
Well,
inside.
I mean, it looks big in
Yeah,
in the Bad Batch, so I think I think so. Um, Tony says, so the next episode will be coordinating a plan to attack from the inside, Omega and the kids, and from the outside, clones and Bad Batch. I think correct.
Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly
And
what I think is going to
I'm
happen.
gonna make a video on it, but I don't know if you guys noticed when Omega steals the thing from Emery's tray. Emery knows. She looks at Omega and almost like gives her like a nod, as in like telling her, like making sure like she's helping her escape in a way.
I didn't really notice that. Interesting.
She turns back and looks at her, and like there's like a little like nod after when Omega has the thing up her sleeve. Like
yeah. I remember that. So that's interesting. So yeah, Emery's definitely going to be like an ally to the kids for sure. I mean, they've set that up pretty clearly.
Yeah, it's gonna be the new Nalase almost.
Yeah, pretty much. I still.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll say because she didn't answer Omega when she asked if she's safe. She did, but she like didn't.
I'm also a little annoyed still that like we have 2 episodes to go, and we still don't know if Omega is force sensitive or not. Like we really don't know.
I don't think we're gonna find out. I think that it's gonna be left up to a mystery.
And that's
the most like frustrating point or part of it anyway, is that like we don't know, and I don't know we will find out. Unless like Hemlock is fighting Crosshair and he's just bringing it up to like piss him off or something, like to try and play like mind games with him. That's like the only thing I might see where it happens, because like
maybe I hope we get some answers, man. I hope we get some answers on. Remember how there was like a clone that Palpatine went and looked at. We didn't get to see what it was or who it was. It might have been a clone of him. I hope we get who that is. It's probably Snoke, is my guess. It would be awesome if it's Joris. And that's my guess there. And I want an answer. Oh, if it's Mace, I would go fucking nuts, dude. I would lose it. I would lose my mind.
Like you see like the gray eye. Like
yeah, I would lose my shit. That'd be so awesome. I want that. And then I want to know if she's force sensitive or not. I need an answer, because they're kind of making it seem like maybe she's not force sensitive, but her blood can accept midichlorians, which is like the big thing that the other blood couldn't do.
Like just like Batch 99, like it could just be a genetic mutation, like to where like, she can take him in, but she can't dish him out, so to speak. But also like with that, we were told that we're gonna get more of Ventress's story. We haven't gotten shit. So do you think that there's gonna be continuation somewhere else?
Yeah, I think that show up. I've really started to come around to the idea after we got the Tales of the Empire trailer and it had nothing to do with Ventress. Yeah. I am now pretty much 100% on board with it is going to be a follow-up to the Bad Batch show. So probably the path, the Jedi path or whatever. And I think it's going to be Ventress. I think you're going to get Quinlan. And we may see some Legends Jedi in there because of, remember on the wall in Kenobi, the writing, there were some Legends Jedi written on the path that I've been through there. I think we're going to get something along those lines about smuggling force-sensitive children out of the Empire harm. I think that's what we're going to get next.
This could be wild. But Omega and the other force-sensitive children from Tantus going that route, with Ventress, or somehow them contacting Ventress to come collect these force-sensitive children, being like we don't know what to do with these kids, and you're the only one that knows how to like protect them. I could see that being like something towards the end, like if we almost see like the Rebels epilogue, but for Bad Batch.
I think so. I think 100% that Ventress is gonna somehow play into this finale, whether she's just saving Omega because the clones are probably gonna die, or Rex is gonna take her to Omega, or Rex is gonna take her to Ventress or something like that, and that is gonna set up the next show. So I don't know if it's gonna have to do with the other children. Maybe that actually makes a whole lot of sense. I like it. But I definitely think that's going to set up the next show, and it's all connected. We're going to get Tantus in Ahsoka live action. We got the Path in Kenobi live action. It's all going to this is like Disney's long-term plan, is connect everything.
This is their 10-year plan.
Yeah. This is their plan. So I think it makes sense. And I'm going to watch the hell out of a Ventress show. Believe me.
Oh yeah, I am too. I'm going to be eating that shit up.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
And also, too, if we don't get the ending that I talked about 2 weeks ago on stream, I'm going to be upset. Like,
if I don't get a Thrawn tease towards the end, I'm going to be a little upset, too. I've my mouth is like watering for it now. So I'm ready. I'm ready
I am
for it.
too.
He says, "What? Omega die?" I'm just saying I'd be fine with it. I'd be fine with it. I'm not saying it needs to happen.
Joe's condoning slaughtering children. That's all right.
We're all going to die. We're all going to die. He wants to see the Zilla Beast do some damage.
That would be pretty cool. Because I mean,
Yeah.
like, I would love to even see Hemlock just get like ripped to shreds by the Zilla Beast. Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather it be him over just some random clone. I don't know. I feel like it'd be like really symbolic to have him get taken out by one of his own abominations.
Yes, but what about this Palpatine abomination? This Snoke, this
I think it's gonna.
Joris.
I mean, if it is Joris, okay. So I'm gonna say two things. If it is a Joris clone, somehow he's always gonna find his way out of the base. Maybe not, but if it isn't, I think with the orbital bombardment, the entire vault will just get demolished, and everything will be like. There's been no way of recovering anything. They can try. And try, but there's
see.
No way.
That's where I think we're probably not aligned because I think.
Oh, you think that they're going to?
I don't think there's going to be an orbital bombardment on this base. I think that it's gonna get abandoned for some reason. Maybe the clones take it over. Whatever happens, for the most part. I think it's going to be abandoned, and then when Thrawn comes back to it in the current Mandoverse timeline, the base is still there. I don't think it's been destroyed. I just think it's dormant. Like there's nothing in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm with that too. I'm just saying, as in like, because like with the orbital bombardment, like obviously Hemlock's base is still intact. It wasn't like significantly destroyed. I'm just saying, like, it's going to put it out of commission to the point where like the Empire's forced to evacuate and to just cut all ties with the place and act like it never happened.
Yeah, I think that's true. I just
like,
I don't think it's gonna be like a Camino situation. You know,
No,
if they destroy Tantus, I'm gonna be heartbroken, dude. I'm gonna be like,
I think it's gonna be just like Hemlock's first base, because they got the orbital bombardment too.
yeah.
I think it's gonna be just like that.
I would hope so. Like I said, I'm gonna be freaking heartbroken if they destroy Tantus, and like, because that is a big part of this Thrawn story. They can't just
look at the size. There's no way that they're gonna do significant damage to it to where it's like imploded in itself.
You say that, but look what they did on Mandalore.
Yeah, but that was because it was because of the bombs that they were using.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's like anything's possible.
I'm just saying I don't know if like compared to Star Destroyer, I think a Venator is pretty underpowered compared to a Star Destroyer. But,
yeah, that's probably true.
I mean, who knows? It could be the first Star Destroyer that I don't know.
When does the Star Destroyer show up? I don't know.
That's a good question. I'm
no
gonna
clue.
find that out.
Ajonis is in the chat, and thanks for joining, man. It's good to see you. Good to have you here again. Agree. Emery is allowing Omega to free herself. That dumb waiter is new before Emery took the blood on her tray. Yeah. Well, they had to get a new like enemy in there close to Omega.
The lady with the that looks like Emery with the glasses and the hair. She was the first cloner that we saw on Tantus in season 2.
Oh yeah.
She was the first one that we saw before we even met Emery. She was the first one we met.
That's a good call out, dude. That's definitely true.
When I was doing my second video that I uploaded, I watched every single episode that had Tantus in it, and that was one of the things I picked up on.
First time
so I was like, I'd never seen her again besides that one episode.
Crazy.
The parallels are to the Andor prison escape. Yeah, I'm telling you, Omega's gonna turn into Kino Loy. Just
one way out. One way out.
It's not Andy Serkis.
Omega is not force sensitive. Her blood has a missing component that Palpatine needs to keep his clone alive for a longer time than what we see in episode 9. Yeah, I think that's the case. I don't think she's force sensitive.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think she can take him in, but she can't dish him out.
That's what I think. I think it's a special blood. It's not. She can't use the midichlorians. She can hold him, essentially, which is interesting. But
Star Wars multiverse. I mean, that's technically what was I gonna say?
I don't know. It's all connected.
Oh, I was gonna say sorry. The world between worlds. Why did that take me so long to say that?
Yeah,
that's technically like the multiverse.
We're not getting World Between Worlds. Not happening. They're never going to use that place again. Hemlock get tossed into planet and all of his abominations go after him. Yeah, I would like to see him get killed, like you said, by one of the abominations rather than I don't know.
I mean,
Like
either that or
if
him and
Crosshair killed him, yeah, Crosshair would be the one I'd be like, okay, there's some payoff there. That'd be cool.
I want them to go more into like how much Hemlock has experimented on himself with, because we saw with the gas, he's immune to it. When he in season 2, when he with everything with Crosshair, like he's immune to the gas. Obviously, the hand, he's done stuff to himself.
I think he's ran experiments on himself for sure. I mean, there's definitely something going on with that guy.
This is way out there, but what if he becomes the Joris of the place?
Honestly,
I could see it. Like it
could be cool.
You could see it.
Yeah, it'd be cool as hell. I mean, that'd be awesome. That's a good backstory, man. I'm all for it. What else was I gonna say? I don't know now. I don't remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something, but I don't remember. We might see Palpatine capture Omega and take her to Exegol.
I don't think we're ever gonna see Exegol again, really. Like maybe besides like in comic books.
Exegol sucks. Exegol sucks. I don't like it at all. I don't like it one bit, and I don't want to see it again. It makes no actual sense. They built like the largest fleet anyone's ever seen with no materials. Yeah,
it's like kind of like in the Eternals, how they're just pulling it out of nothingness and just creating. Like it's and if you have that power, then where's the Starforge? Like that's more powerful than a Starforge.
Basically, yeah, and it sucks.
Yeah, man, like I mean, I included it in my video, but I didn't include it for like I love Exegol. I just like I will say though, when I did watch the scene, like when everyone's going down and Lando does come in, I got goosebumps. But it was because like the cavalry has arrived, type of thing. It wasn't the story. Like it wasn't the story. It was just like
it didn't even pay off for me. I don't know. Like I just don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I haven't seen it since I saw it in theater. So when I saw that scene, I'm like, okay, like it kind of got me a little excited. But I was like, and then I cut to Ray and everything. And I was like, all right, I'm done watching this. I got what I needed for my video. I'm done.
It's a tough watch. I don't know. But it's canon somehow. So it's canon forever. It's crazy to think about that that's canon.
What are you gonna do?
It's just nothing, I guess. We're gonna animate Legends. What we're gonna do. We'll animate Legends. That's all we can do, guys. What do you think chances of Boba Fett?
Slim. I feel like it had to have been brought in already or established in some way.
I agree. There should have been a Boba Fett plot line, I feel like, in this season, but I think that's completely.
I mean, I'm fine with it with Cad being in there instead of Boba, because that's what Cad does, kidnap children. Like that's part of this whole thing. So,
but Boba Fett definitely worked for the Empire also, and so we haven't gotten much Boba at all. Like he wasn't in Rebels.
Last time we saw him besides live action was Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, like not even season 7 at all.
I think
like
5 was the last time we saw him.
6 or 5, yeah. So it's like he's kind of just off the grid entirely. I mean, I guess we got him, for a snippet in Jedi Survivor. That's all we've seen of him, like pre-Empire or I guess, original trilogy.
Oh shit, I was even wrong. The last time we saw Boba was in season 2 of Clone Wars. Like,
holy shit!
Yeah, it's he's long overdue. That's for sure. I would say like a bounty hunter show this time, like Bosk, Dengar, you name it, Chrysanthemum, Boba.
Yeah, I would like to see a Tales of the Bounty Hunters. If we get another Tales show, which I think we will, that'd be cool because I'd like to see we have enough Cad Bane in my opinion, so I would like to see maybe Boba and maybe God, a Bosk would be sick.
Yeah. I mean, he already does the voice for Bosk, so like, give Dean another job for a couple years. We'll be fine.
That'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
I want to see more of Dengar just because of like how important he was to Boba's story and legends, like coming out of the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, he did pull him out in Legends. I wouldn't mind seeing Dengar. That'd be kind of cool. Honestly, any
I
of
mean,
those
you can have
classic
Alexander
guys.
Skarsgård play him.
That'd
I
be kind
mean,
of cool. Yeah, it's an
I
option.
mean, I mean, if you don't even want that, literally just get Stellan Skarsgård. I guarantee he would do it too. Like, he might even look more the part than Alexander Skarsgård.
Yeah, that'd be he could pull it off for sure.
I mean, he already pulled off the Baron, so I mean, like,
And after Dune, man, he can pull off anything. Ben says, "Amen." I think that's to animating legend stories, and absolutely. You can go ahead and grab this one.
we have 17 more years of canon to play with until New Hope. Lots of room for more stories. Exactly. There's so much time here, and Rebels only takes place 4 years before, like, A New Hope. So we have plenty of time to go through this. Along with that too, like, we're only, I don't even think, because we're still in 18 BBY right now, so we still have
Yeah.
plenty of time, and there's still so much that we can explore. I also too would think that yeah, I think there's so many possibilities.
I think there is too. I'm I'm kind of in the camp though that like I'm all for stories in this time period, but I would love to see more before the sequels. Like I want to know what Luke is
Yeah.
up to. I want to know what Han and Leia are up to. I'd like to see more of that. I know we're getting a lot of it in live action, but it's just like live action is so slow. We get 8 episodes like once a year. It's terrible.
Or once every
So
2 years.
yeah, so give me an animated show adjacent to the Mandoverse, Ahsoka, whatever you want to call it, where we can actually follow the original trilogy heroes, because there's an opportunity there to tell some stories with them without recasting them. I think that's my.
I also
opinion.
think we're taking a step in the right direction, because with the Tales of the Empire, we see updated New Republic Morgan Elsbeth and New Republic
Yes.
soldiers. We're finally getting to that point with the animation. If they already had made Corvus, like, we're one step further, and I feel like it's only a matter of time now. Like, we're already there. I feel like they already know that they have to, and they're just waiting for the right time. Probably after Dave's movie, for like in between the 2 movies or 3 movies if he has a trilogy. Like, the time.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be all for that if they wait till after Dave's movie, then we're a few years out. Maybe we get a Ventress show for a couple seasons in the meantime. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or even more tales in general, just more things of tales, like
Yeah.
continuations and stuff.
Right.
Give us, yeah.
Tony says if there is going to be more Tales of the in the future, I prefer more episodes that are longer runtime.
I agree. I just think they're marketing them as short stories, hence the tales, which kind of sucks. I would really want just to have longer episodes, especially with some of these stories, like everything with Qui-Gon and Dooku. I feel like that could have been an hour-long episode if they took the time.
Yeah, I think of it as like a comic book run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're just quick little stories, and that's all. I think that's all we're getting. I don't think we're going to get anything longer there at all. Jonas says, is there a reason I can't see most of the chat? So we are multi-streaming. This is on Cadence channel and on my channel. So some of the chats are coming in on Cadence channel. Some are coming in on my channel. That might be why. But rest assured, we will share every chat here on screen. So you can catch them all that way. And he says, that would explain it. Yes, it would. So, Ben says, yeah, definitely for animating legends. So should we talk about Dark Force Rising?
Let's get right into it.
Okay. Let's dive in. I know, guys, that we haven't really made a whole lot of progress in the last few months, and that's okay. I have been really busy. I know I kind of paused things for a while after we got the first initial draft done, and mostly due to my work life balance. I needed some breaks. Plus, I was working on some other projects, and now I have a lot of free time to work on this again. And this week we have ramped up a little bit. I am working on putting backgrounds together. So those of you that don't know, pretty much this style of animation has 2D backgrounds with 3D elements at times. And kind of the initial thing you need before you draw the characters on top of it is the backgrounds done. So that's where we're at right now. I'm finished this background this week. This is for the scene where Mara walks in to Thrawn's kind of chambers, and he discusses with her that he needs to find the location of the Dark Force Rising, or the Dark Force fleet. And I'm working on mocking up what this could look like. So this is a picture of Thrawn in his chair. This is actually from the comic. This would be some sort of like hologram map that he's looking at, and this stuff is just to storyboard, basically, just to like lay out, okay, what would this look like? And of course, we have Mara in the doorway, and she will walk in, and then we will switch to the close up of her, which I would say is pretty much finalized, to tell you the truth. And shout out to Ben, he's on the call. As you can see, we have the background here, and she's reacting to what Thrawn is saying. I mean, look at the detail in the eyes, man. I mean, this is what we were talking about. I think like Ben has brought like this whole thing up a notch from where we were.
And it was already amazing even back then too. And it's only getting better from here. Like it can't go down from here, if that makes sense.
I completely agree. Like, I think we had a really good. Obviously, I think Heir to the Empire. I guess I'm just boasting now. I think it was solid. I think,
Yeah.
I think it came out just how my vision was for it. But because of getting it out there and getting to meet some new people to work with and stuff like that, I think it's allowed us to bring it to another level. We have so many more voices actually in this trailer than I did in the last one. I'm actually only have one voice left to get a recording of, and I'm all set on all of the voices for the project as well. So really, really exciting stuff, because I've been working on sound effects this week, and the next scene I've been working on backgrounds for is actually the lightsaber scene between Luke and Jorah Sabaoth when he's firing the lightning at him when Mara comes to pick him up. And I'm just gonna, if you guys don't know what that scene is, I'm gonna kind of share with you our very preliminary sketches here. Mara is coming to Luke and asking for his aid to break out Talon Karrde, who's in Imperial custody, basically. And there's some let's just say something goes down between these two. So Joris and so there we go. And then they're Imperial outfits. So I mean, this is obviously just a sketch, but I can only imagine what Ben's gonna be able to do with this. I mean, here was the sketch of Mara up close, right? Versus this is what it looks like now. So I am really excited to see what Ben does with it. And please head over to his channel, support him. And I am trying to find a way to I have to be careful how I say this, because Lucasfilm is very strict about this stuff, but anybody that's working on the project, whether it's voice acting or animating, drawing, that kind of thing, I want to be able to give them some sort of financial incentive, for doing this. Although we don't pay for, this isn't a produced, paid for project. This is a fan project. I want to say that. But it's nice that people are spending, time, hours of their day working on something like this. And anything we can do to support those people is I think, important. That's what I want to say. Oh, yeah. That's where we're at, guys. We are rolling finally, and I'm trying to get all the backgrounds compiled this week, or I'm sorry, it's going to be hopefully by the end of next week. It takes kind of a while because there's a lot of photoshopping that takes place. There's a lot of um, just different aspects. I mean, a lot of this is just mocked up stuff. Like this is from the comic, right? We have this. I mean, there he is. There he is. Talent card. And then, of course, our sketches with Luke and
I love that Joris is drawn like how he was in like the comic too, like the look on his face, like
yeah.
like it's so identical to it.
It's pretty great. So yeah, I'm really excited to kind of especially get this portion of it done. I think this is probably the big action shot of the trailer. Um and it's gonna be just freaking awesome. So yep, that's it. Boom. Dark Force Rising. Jonas says, wait, that was Talon? Damn, man is ripped. Yeah, man is freaking ripped. Let's go back to Talon real quick.
Do you want me to send you
There
the
he is.
concept art of him?
I have it. Let me pull up. Let me pull it up in color for you guys so you can see what Talon's looking like. This might take a second. Eesh. All right, where is my talent card? Maybe you should send that to me because I
know that's the older one that we've had. I know that this one's newer. Sorry, I think I actually might have the other one too. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know. Now I'm like,
I thought I did.
I know that was kind of the initial mock-up that we had. Here we go. I got him. Boom.
Oh, so yeah, I knew I saw it somewhere.
Yeah. There he is. I like the, if you guys have seen Telling Card, the images that they took for the old card game, this is kind of the hairstyle he had. He had a white hair with the black like up top, kind of like a skunk haircut.
I was just gonna say, it almost looks like a skunk tail in a way.
Yeah, that's what he had in the old card game. So, and funny enough, Timothy Zahn was the one who posed as Telling Card in the card game. So Timothy Zahn, the legend himself, was the stand-in for Telling Card. I don't think he was as shredded as our Telling Card, but yeah, I mean it's freaking awesome. He's wearing a skunk. You know he is. That's him. Tony said, "Don't underestimate the amount of work that goes into doing animation. Appreciate your effort." Yeah, absolutely, man. I really want to deliver another trailer here. There's a lot that goes into it, not just outside of the animation, which is a lot. It's backgrounds, it's music, it's sound effects, it's voiceovers. It's all that basically. So I mean, it's the storyboard of the trailer alone. I mean, we have to be able to tell a quick, compelling version of what might happen in Dark Force Rising in a minute and a half. That's tough to do.
I'll say too, and even with the Heir to the Empire one, that was only 1 minute and 9 seconds.
Right. And I covered the Sarlacc pit scene, which is his vision at the cave, and Mara in the woods with him, and of course we had like kind of the reveal of Thrawn at the end. But it's in a minute you can do a lot if you if you pack it in tightly, right?
I mean, and I'm just thinking to the future, like by the time the Last Command one comes out for the trailer, like it's gonna be insane just to see where we've how far we've come, even though we were never in a bad spot. If that makes sense. Like just seeing the progress and almost like with animation. Because when I was making my video, I was going back watching Clone Wars season 7 with Bad Batch. That was in the first 4 episodes, and then going to Bad Batch season 3. I'm like, holy shit! In the 4 years, the animation went from here to here, and it's like insane to think that like that quickly it has progressed. So I can't even
I
wait
know.
to see like what it's gonna look like in 2 years from now.
Yeah. I think and we might get more people on board and that kind of thing. I will say I was initially going to animate the opening scenes, the ship scenes myself. This is a still from my animation that I worked on. I I'm at a little bit of a crossroads because I'm having trouble capturing the 2D-ish look for the ships because they are very much 3D models, obviously. Um, but I did find someone who is pretty good at doing like a 2D kind of cover of 3D stuff. And I am trying to get him to do these two scenes for me. So it's a thing. I'm sure he's busy, but I really like his work. He's done some Star Wars videos. I don't want to actually put any names out there yet until I can make sure he's actually on board with the project and everything like that. But we're discussing. So that's all I'm going to say. Hopefully, these two scenes, which will be the Dark Force kind of floating in space, and then the Falcon over Endor. Hopefully, we'll have those scenes done sooner rather than later. Is all I can say. If ultimately I have to go my own way and animate these scenes myself, I will using Blender, which is where these were kind of created already. But I would prefer to have it a little more anime looking, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like cell shading, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I like I'm already picturing it in my head, like what you're describing,
Mm-hmm.
and I see where you wanted to go with it.
Yeah,
So
I don't want it to look like CG. I want it to look
yeah,
like hand drawn, but it's when you're doing ships and stuff, it just makes more sense to use 3D models because it's so much faster. Um, and you can manipulate their movements a lot better too.
I just look back at the Clone Wars animated show, like with it being 2D but in
Yeah.
3D,
Right. Right.
and I don't know like for all the scenes like on Coruscant when the Battle of Coruscant when all the ships are flying in the city. I know that was fully all CG, but it was just made in the 2D form. But obviously
Right.
they got hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to make that compared to
Oh yeah, I
such,
mean, dude,
so
the Clone Wars 2D is incredible, the micro series. And yes, the ships are all 3D in that show, and it blends in seamlessly with the 2D animation. I think that's really the key here. We want um them to blend in. There's Pelion and Thrawn. And see, this was his initial mock-up of
right.
that scene that we're working on now. So yeah, I mean, there it is, guys. Ben says, I mean, I could do that. So Ben's just trying to take on everything himself. like I want you to focus on the characters, Ben. I'm gonna be completely honest, because that is a very important and time-consuming part. And your character work has been incredible already. Like I said, I think I have someone who is gonna help out with the modeling on the ships. But if that falls through for some reason, I might try to leverage you a little bit. The other thing I was thinking is maybe getting just the ships drawn and manipulating them in Blender, like having 2D images and then manipulating them in Blender. It's an option.
I mean, it's been done before. It was done in the late 70s, early 80s with Tron.
Right. Right. Like you can take a 2D image and manipulate it in a 3D software to move it around how you want it to move. So um I think that's definitely an opportunity there. I like I said, I have one more voiceover to go, which I will try and collect in this coming week. And after that, I mean, it's all sound effects. The sound effects, I tried to work on them a little bit, but it's tough when I'm working off like still images and stuff. So
Yeah, you want to be able to see it in full reference so you can not only line it up with it, but also get a gist for how long you need to have it instead of just
yeah,
guessing.
yeah. And when I did Heir to the Empire, when I did the track for that, I was definitely like moving things as I got each like draft back. So
Yeah.
like, when it was stills, I had like sound effects in there that probably ended up not matching with what we ended up using. But I have a huge bank of Star Wars sound effects that is like crazy. Um it's called the Star Wars Ultimate Sound Effects Collection. I just want to show you guys how nuts this is. There's like melee weapons, dark saber, lightsaber, Magnagard staff. You have blasters and cannons. I mean, just look at all these. This is just blasters and cannons. So going through and trying to figure out exactly what sound effect, and then you're gonna have to EQ it a little bit and put some reverb on it, that kind of thing. There's film quotes, there's droids, there's creatures, there's characters, impacts and explosions, all the different types of impacts and explosions. I mean,
While I've been working on my videos since I've been back, I've been watching all the prequel like webisodes that are like an hour long.
yeah.
And for Attack of the Clones, when they were going through and doing all the sound design, they said that they went through over 10,000 cassette tapes from like even back in like early 70s when they first started working on the movie for A New Hope. And just it's insane how much they have and still use from way back then. Like they haven't even updated it besides just
Right.
warming up. They said that they warmed up the tapes to re-record them on digital,
Oh my
and
gosh.
like it's just it's insane how well preserved everything's been. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, man. I mean, the sound effects, you can find stuff from so many different places too. Like, I was looking at the sound effects for this scene. Well, I guess it wouldn't be technically that scene. It'd be this scene where the door slides open. And I don't really have anything in my Star Wars databank that would be a good, kind of whooshing sound. But oddly enough, Star Trek has a lot of sounds that kind of fit that. So, I found one there. It's just things like that. You got to be able to like resourceful and like finding these sounds and stuff. It's very interesting.
I mean,
Um,
even if like we had to do something to record our own, because like for example, for Attack of the Clones in the Geonosis arena, the acolyte that comes out in the webisode is literally some lady just in sand with a shovel hitting it every single time that the legs of the acolyte come down. And
oh
now that I
my
saw
gosh.
that in the episode, I can't unhear it.
Yeah.
But when you're
Foley,
just
man.
seeing it, when you're just seeing it in there, like, or sorry, when you're just hearing it when you're watching it the first time, like you're not gonna pick up on those things.
Yeah.
So, like, if I gotta go outside my garage and do something, I'll go outside my garage and do it. Like, you're just gonna make it happen.
No, that's exactly right. I went to school for sound design for those of you that don't know. And um, one of our projects actually was to Foley everything, like no downloaded sound effects. So we had like, they gave us a clip and we had to do everything. Everything had to be made using real life, real world sounds. It was a very interesting project, but I mean, you learn a lot. Jonas says, I took an animation workshop recently. Dear God, I have a new appreciation for this. Right on. Right on. Supernova 20 says, Jar Jar is very important. Jar Jar.
I wasn't sure if you talking about you were actually Jar Jar. I wasn't.
I think he's talking about the real Jar Jar.
I was gonna say either way, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Trailer when?
Coming soon.
I don't know how soon. It's a process, man. I don't,
Soon TM.
If we could get it done by the end of the year, I'd be really happy. If it doesn't happen by the end of the year, that's life. I mean, but I'd be really happy if we could. So my goal right now is to get every single background done within the next week or two. And I send them to Ben. If there's something I need to change, I'll go back and change it, and that kind of thing. So I need to be able to work with him on it too. I can't just put a bunch of backgrounds together and say, okay, use this. It has to work in the scope of what, animation could do or what we can do with animation on top of it. So, yeah. So Ben's teamwork is cool too. Yeah, no, that's the goal. I want it to be a team effort. In the ship thing, we got the ships covered. Rest assured. Rest assured, we'll have him covered one way or another. I just want to know when the Bothans will start showing up. Oof. Borsk failure. When will Borsk failure show up? Is he?
Is it last command?
I mean, he has a pretty big role in Dark Force Rising because he's tough. I mean, I'm gonna try to get him in for the last command, is what I'm gonna say, Jonas, because I know that's important. So, yeah, try to do it for last. Ultimately, hey, if I get some incredible, seed investor who wants to pay for the whole project, then hey, we'll make the whole thing happen and we'll have tons of Borsk in there. But yeah, I mean, for now, I'm gonna have to say last command. We're gonna try and squeeze him in there for sure. I'll find a scene that works. Sorry, I guess I was waiting for the last voice edition. You don't have to say sorry for anything at all. So I've been, like I said, I've been slacking for a couple months now. I've been really busy working on kind of my own separate project for a book that I'm writing. And here's, I was going to show you guys some art from that. Here's some art from that. So I've been really busy with that, and I'm finally kind of completing that project and shopping it, which is a big accomplishment for me. But now I can start to focus on the fan project again, which is really what I want to be focusing on anyway, because I think that's honestly more fun.
And with after the next like week and a half, besides me working, I'm gonna try and get a video out almost every 3 days of May for Star Wars. Along with that, after May, we're leading literally right into Acolyte. So I'm going to be trying to put as much time as I can into doing anything I can to help with the project as well, because I'll have free time besides when I'm not working and stuff.
Yep. I think you've been kicking it up on the Star Wars videos a lot, and the videos are doing really well on your channel. Congrats to that.
Appreciate it.
I haven't posted anything in a while, as you guys know, so it's just these live streams for me. But I'm probably going to refrain from spending a lot of time making videos while I work on this fan trailer, because I want the trailer to be it's more important to me. And it's what people want to see, right? People want to see this trailer. A lot of people that on my channel, at least, I don't, a lot of people that subscribe to my channel want to see it. So I want to get it out for them.
You mean just look at the views that it did for your channel, and then along with that too, like you were already successful with your channel and already had 1,000 subs from Mando in your theories, but then on top of that, this took you even to almost 3K subs with the trailer. So like, obviously you have the fan base for it, and that's what's most important, is doing what they want to see.
Yeah, I mean, I get comments on the video, on the Heir to the Empire video every day, please make this happen. Please do this and that. And so if I can make this Dark Force Rising trailer and Last Command trailer, if we can round out the trilogy, and I can get those out, then I definitely think that we could get a lot of support. And I'm shooting for the moon here, hopefully enough to make a long form version of one of the stories from Legends. So, and it may not be an hour long, but I'm saying a 20 to 30 minute long form animated 2D version of one of the stories would be my ideal goal. The trailers are kind of a showcase of like, this is possible. This is what's possible with Legends in the EU. So like, let's make it happen. Like these are the characters. Mara Jade, we don't get to see her, right? This is who we want to see. We want to see her and Luke.
There's also over 40 years of source material to go back on them and use. You don't have to create something new when you have these 40 years, or even more, almost 50 years now of stories that have already been made. There's a fan base for it, and they're just waiting for their time to shine.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
That's what we're trying to
There's
convey.
a there's hungry fans that want this content, and we have to be the ones to deliver it to them if no one else is going to do it. So let's do it, and let's work together. Let's get everyone who wants to help and do it. I think that's what we need to do. So, Clark says, "Hats off to Ben. Really
Ben really
appreciate
is
him acknowledging my input on the characters I'm playing." Yeah,
Ben really has been like I'd say like the star VIP of this. Like Ben's making
yeah,
it more and more possible.
yeah, and part of the reason, I kind of want to address something else, I guess, on that note. So the last animator I worked with has a fairly successful animation production company, and they are not really available to work on this stuff all the time. Honestly hardly at all. And it was a really long road just to get the 1 minute trailer done. Um, and I don't think that they're going to be available at all for this project. So we are leaning on Ben heavily. He showed me what he can do with animation. He sent me a lot of like test stuff, and I'm putting my faith in him, and I'm saying, go for it, man. The shading, like I said, on this shot alone is truly incredible to me. It looks better than anything we had in the Heir to the Empire trailer, in my opinion.
And I feel like, I mean, this is only the tip of the iceberg. This is just one character. Like,
Yeah.
I know. I mean, like, I'm excited to see like how amazing Luke is gonna look, how amazing Joris is gonna look, Thrawn, like especially with the Thrawn redesign, everything with talent. Like, we're in good hands with Ben.
I agree. I agree. And Ben says, I'd like to make a general Star Wars Legends trailer. That's a really good idea. Like something that maybe showcases like Kip Duron and some of the X-Wing guys, or like the Vong. That'd be
The best parts of
nuts.
Legends.
That'd be really cool. And even like prequel Legend stuff like KOTOR, and
You could even throw in some Dark Empire, like
you
anything.
really could. I mean, no, absolutely. That is a really good idea, but there's a lot of characters that you'd have to showcase, which you got to get references for them all, and you got to that's a I don't know, Ben. I'm all for it. I think it's awesome. And if you want to work on that with this group, if you want, I'm 100% supportive of it, and I would gladly work on sound and storyboard and everything for that. I think that's an awesome idea. My priority is with Dark Force Rising right now, but I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's an awesome idea.
I mean, like in the future too. Like, I would say like definitely after everything with the trilogy, and trying to do like the shorts of it, so to speak. We could always expand the more things too if not only it's wanted but time allows as well. Like personally, I would love to do an NJO project in the future.
Yeah.
I'm not talking anywhere in the next 5 years. That's probably not going to be the case. But just in the future, like I would love to see the NJO in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's a minute trailer or if it's a 5 minute short, 2 minute short, you name it. I just want to see Luke, Kyle Katarn, the Academy.
Yeah.
Since the last time we saw it was in Outcasts. And that
Yeah,
was early 2000s.
NJO. I mean, besides the Thrawn trilogy, NJO is my next dream project, obviously. But I mean, really, what I want to do, like I said, is if we finish the trilogy of trailers and we have enough support of the channel to get some backing to. I mean, because in reality, if you're gonna make something that's 20 to 30 minutes, you actually would need to hire people.
Yeah.
To work. I mean, a crew, basically. You know what I mean? You can't just scrap together a bunch of fans and probably put something together unless you get enough people who can work at the same level.
And
But
for years on end.
right.
Well.
So that's why I'm saying like 20, 30-minute project would be incredible. That's kind of the goal right now. And honestly, I think it'd be sick to do that as a Vong story, because there's no Vong stories on screen anywhere. None at all.
Not even in like for example, like the Heir to the Empire story is partially done in a video game engine. We don't have anything for NJO.
Right.
And
Because that's Darth Anglus. He a lot of the Heir to the Empire in CG.
So
We have nothing for NJO. We have no imagery. We have no comics for NJO.
I mean, the only thing that we technically have, I guess, would be like parts of Outcast, but that's that might even be a little bit of a stretch just because it's not fully NJO. It's just a little part of it,
right?
Segment.
No, that's correct. We don't have any true visualizations of NJO stories besides some some random art, basically. So it would be a huge undertaking, but I think that'd be a really cool one. I'm all for it. Kip, Revan, Kyle, etc. You have a voice actor ready to help as well. Absolutely appreciate that. Tease lots of great stuff from Legends. Remind everyone of the endless possibilities. Yeah, kind of like I'm thinking like a Star Wars Visions type trailer, but it's like Legends. Yeah,
it would be insane. Like,
that's a really good idea, Ben. I mean, that is just awesome.
I mean, because like at the end of the day, I think like the most important thing is that like we're trying to grab the attention of Lucasfilm to tell like, hey, this is possible. The fans want it. Make it happen. And something
that's correct,
like this, along with that, could get to that point.
Yeah, that's the goal. That ultimate goal is for Lucasfilm to take notice. And this is I'm gonna go off. This is I don't know if you guys are watching X-Men 97, but
dude,
X-Men 97 is like exactly what I want Lucasfilm to do. X-Men 97 is not canon to the MCU. X-Men 97 is a comic continuation essentially from the 90s, right? It was a show in the 90s that was based on comics. They're just continuing it. And it is freaking awesome, dude. It's Studio Mir. They are going in on the animation. It's incredible. And they are giving us MCU stories that don't have anything to do with the MCU. And it's awesome. Like, people are enjoying this show.
LeBron James is tweeting about that, how he needs the new episode now. Not like the fact that you're getting that, like you're getting a billionaire upset that his episode isn't out in time. Like, it's possible. And it's a fact. I think they even confirmed that Spider-Man 98 is going to continue this way too, through this animation style, like bringing back like the old animation.
Yeah, I think we are going to get a Spider-Man continuation as well, which is going to be really cool. This is what Lucasfilm needs to do. I mean, think about if they can generate the kind of hype they are of X-Men 97, which is a non-canon story to the MCU. Think about this shit happening in Legends with Jason Solo and, Anakin Solo. If you guys don't know what happens with these characters, even Mara, like, shit would blow your mind. It's freaking incredible. And this is a huge spoiler, but I'm going to put it up here anyway, because you know what? We're all Legends fans here. But if you were to take moments for the Vong, Chewie's sacrifice, one, I love it. Two, yeah, I mean, that is another, like, people would be freaking out when this shit happens, because a lot of people don't read the books, honestly. I mean, just being, blunt about it, they don't.
I mean, on top of that too, with the fake out we already got in Rise, like, he deserves to at least have it the correct way. At least in my mind, it's the correct way of how his story would end.
Yeah, I mean, he was at least respected in Legends, and I mean, let's put it this way: Han mourned over Chewie's death like more than anyone in the new trilogy mourned over Han's death.
I think Han cared more about Chewie's death in the Vong storyline more than he did about anything that happened in the sequels. Like,
yeah,
he like more than Harrison even cared just to be there.
Yeah,
like
to be there. Yeah.
like,
no, I absolutely agree. Let me backtrack a little bit here, guys, because I'm just kind of like jumping all over the place. But brainstorm a list of awesome cinematic emotional moments. I'm actually going to start doing this and keeping a list, because it would be really cool to just do a few clips, and put them together. And I'm going to start doing that. That's a great idea. Whoa.
Ban him. Get him out of here.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Jonas. I see. I think the Vong are cool because they're so unique to the Star Wars universe. But
I prefer them over the Grisk, because the Grisk feel like a Wish.com version of the Vong, because they're just wanting to take that story and make it try to like reinvent it when it doesn't need to be reinvented. It's already good enough as is.
Yeah, agreed. Clark's doing impressions of Mark Hamill's Joker. Right on.
Dude, I'm gonna have nightmares just hearing that in the Discord.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Absolutely loving X-Men 97. Yeah, that's just incredible. Shadow of the Studio Mirror. They're so good, man. Oh yeah. My dream is them handling all the legend shit, just doing it all. I mean, that is like the dream.
I mean, Jonas, you're not wrong, but at the same time, I feel like I watched an interview recently, and I feel like Harrison really did care. He just didn't care for how the story was handled. He only cared like if if Han served a purpose, he was happy. But if he didn't serve a purpose and he was just there, that's where he was like, "Fuck this, I don't want to do it."
Yeah.
He'd rather the character actually be like Indiana Jones. Look at how emotional he got for Indy coming back. He does have that love there. It needs to be done right.
Right. I think that's true. He loves Indy. I think it's like if he had that kind of emotional connection to Han, which he could have in the right circumstances. I mean, Han was basically, they made him like a deadbeat dad. Like, what's there to love about that?
They gave him the Adam Sandler, that's my boy dad. Like that's the storyline they gave him. Like, like that's.
Yeesh.
I feel like based off of everything from Legends, yeah, I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, I'm definitely feel like we're in the right ballpark with that anyway.
Yeah, I hear you. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, this is about the Vong. They're cool, but they always felt off to me that the Force wasn't a part of them. See, I think it totally works because they came from a different galaxy. So maybe in their galaxy, the Force isn't a thing. I think that's totally plausible considering the whole premise of Star Wars, like in a galaxy far away. So essentially in our same universe, a galaxy.
Yeah.
We don't have the Force. You know what I mean? So like,
I mean, you just said exactly what I was gonna say. Like every galaxy is different. It's all like look at Peridia. Look how different Peridia is to the galaxy we know. And Peridia is only just one planet in that galaxy. Like everything works differently in different places. Even like around the world. Like look at it. Like I don't know. I feel like the Force is part of the Star Wars galaxy, but anything out of that can really be anything. Like how there might be a galaxy just not even full of life forms, just empty space and matter. And I guarantee the Force isn't the thing there, but it pertains to the story. And I think it also adds a unique way of like, okay, we can't use our greatest weapon against these foes. What are we like? How else are we going to combat them? And that's part of the story. If you can't use your greatest weapon, then you have to find another way to defeat it. Like in Predator, right. If it bleeds, you can kill it.
Right, and it's not that it wasn't like the Islamari that just like were able to repel the Force. It's just that like the Force isn't within them as beings, and I think that's I don't know. I think it's fine. I think it was actually a very fresh idea. And like you said, it kind of gave the heroes like a challenge for once, like which is good. Legends needed it bad.
Just look at like right now, Thrawn has to go up against at least several Force sensitives in the current Manoverse timeline. If anything, that doesn't make sense.
Like how's he gonna survive that? Yeah,
exactly.
Like, he won't.
Like there's in no way he should be able to survive that. He shouldn't even be able to put up a fight against that. So you have to find an out of the box way, and I think the Vong are perfect for that.
I wholeheartedly agree. I wanted to touch on this comment. I kind of passed over this new IP. So, I have been writing my own novel for some time. I'd say going on about a year and a half now. It is complete at about 100,000 words, which is pretty standard for a space fantasy or space opera novel. And yes, it is a unique and completely original IP by myself. I will not be sharing the name with it right now because I am shopping it, like I said. but if and when I get it picked up and hopefully published, I will 100% be sharing it with everyone on the channel. And it's kind of a fun side project for me. And the reason I started it is because I did have a lot of disappointment around the sequels, and I do love space fantasy. I love Dune. I love Star Wars, and I love pretty much anything that kind of takes place in that kind of setting. So I kind of dove in and wrote my own story. And there they are. They're kind of space mercenaries, and I really can't say anything else about it, but I appreciate the nod of new IP because yes, honestly, I'd love for it to be a actual IP at some point, but it's that takes some time, and it's a lot of work to get it picked up. So yeah,
I
but
this doesn't
thanks
really
for noticing.
pertain to the new IP, and but I have read. I think I've read 2 chapters of it, and I'm gonna continue. I honestly just I think I deleted everything when I was going through and clearing out my computer, but I found it again. Definitely gonna just go back and start picking up reading it just to immerse myself with it. But I would just also like to say quickly, just thanks for all the support from even from my channel to Joe's channel to this podcast. I mean, Joe and I started this with Ahsoka, and we're still here now doing it way past Ahsoka. I
Yeah,
didn't think we'd get this far, and it's only because of the continued support. And with that, also, I just want to say thanks for 800 subscribers. By the way, I just hit that just now, as
there
of
you
5 minutes
go.
ago. So like, just
Nice,
thank
man.
everyone for being here. Like, it really does mean a lot, and it's the reason why we keep going.
Yeah, no, and honestly, I definitely want to echo that. I just love this community, guys, and even when I, may not be loving everything that Star Wars is releasing, at the exact moment, it's fun to be able to come together and talk about the stories we do love, and still speculate on what might happen and how some of those elements might play into the current canon. So, I really like all the conversations you guys bring here and everything. So, I want to keep it going as long as possible. Ben says I would love to talk to animators from Studio Mirror to see their process. Totally amazing. It's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
Job shadow.
Right. Can we get him a job shadow? Honestly, Ben, I'm gonna be completely dead serious with you, Ben. If we can complete this trailer, you're gonna have a pretty good portfolio you can put together. And I'm just saying, like, the possibilities are endless. The last animator I was working with definitely got a decent amount of exposure from the project and probably got a lot of hired gigs because of it, is all I'm saying. So there's a lot of opportunity out there, and I think the work you're doing is really great, and I think that yeah, you could get some opportunities, and you just need to send out your portfolio and they'll come calling, man, especially because your work is great. So I think it's if you want to pursue it, you do it.
Scoundrels make the best dads. I mean, I'd take Woody Harrelson as a dad. I mean,
Yeah, I like it.
I recently finished the Brian Daly Han Solo trilogy, and I am in the middle of Hut Gambit.
Yeah, Han Solo trilogy is great. If you guys haven't read that one, that's a good trilogy for sure. That's a fun one. AC Crispin's work is great. I can agree. I I feel like Star Wars has been blessed by some like great authors.
I like definitely like I think not only like obviously Timothy Zahn, but like I mean even down to people like uh, I mean I can't even name names. Like there's just so many like almost like
Oh,
ghostwriters that are perfect for stories just because everyone has their own niches. Like everyone grew up differently. They have these own things that they can pull references
mhm.
from, and that's what makes every single story so unique and so special, even though it's in underneath the same IP.
I agree, and I think that sometimes the authors they may not get the opportunities to write like TV shows and movies, but they have a lot of the authors who are willing to sit there and spend, months and months and months on end writing a book about Star Wars, probably have a lot of love for the IP. And I think we see it through the writing. Matthew Stover comes to mind, Timothy Zahn, obviously. Um, who was the one who wrote Claudia Gray wrote the Leia one?
Bloodline.
Yeah. So I think I think that there's a lot of love for the IP basically, and I think having these authors get the opportunity to do it is really cool. So,
yeah. Especially like even seeing them get even like reference, like Timothy Zahn was brought on with Rebels to get reference for Thrawn, and I believe even with Ahsoka too, because they want to do the character justice, and they're not just wanting to rip the good parts of these things out. They still want to pay homage to the people who created them and get their input, because it's still important. Like Lucasfilm and Disney owned Thrawn, but at the end of the day, Thrawn is Timothy Zahn's baby. He created him, so he's the best person to go to.
That's why they hired him to do the new Thrawn books, the canon books, because no one else can write them like Zahn does. So they knew who to go to. They didn't hire some new writer to come in and do it. I think I do appreciate that they seem to have a decent level of respect for the authors, even if, sometimes they might just retcon stuff from the books or whatever, but it's always been like that. Lucas would have
look at Dave
retconned everything. Yeah. I mean, Dave's going to do it. Lucas would have done it. That's just how it goes.
The best way to look at it is that George Lucas said that all Legends in EU, none of them are wrong. They're just moving along the same story as his. They're moving parallel to it.
Yeah.
There's no one like bad story, so to speak. They're just different stories that are running parallel to his. And I think that's a really mature and smart way of thinking about it too.
I agree. Tony's back. Welcome back. Did some research. Caesar, Rommel, and Alexander the Great gave Timothy Zahn inspiration for Thrawn. That makes sense.
I think I remember seeing that when they were talking the Rebels webisode about it.
I watched that. Yeah, that's cool to see Zahn in there, like chatting about Thrawn and stuff. Legend Star Wars. This is the way. Talon, Han, Booster. Yep, that's well. When Han is done right. And as Ben said, it's nice to read things from people who honestly love Han Solo. I agree. Like, he's a totally different character in Legends, but like in a good way, not in a bad way. Like, it seems like a mature continuation of him.
What if we would have saw the story continued through live action from, let's say, like 89, for example, like if they made like the sequel trilogy in 1989, it's like a mature way of how Han would have been handled instead of him being killed off. Like Harrison wanted, like if it was mature how it was handled in Legends with certain stories, I feel like everyone would have been happy. If that makes sense. Like
I actually really, really agree too. I mean, it's just so weird that he like went back to smuggling. Like this is like 30 years later. Like he had made so much progress, and now he's just like going back to smuggling. I don't know. Not really in on that. Yes.
Thank you,
Congrats on the 800 subs. Congrats. This is the last question, guys. We're gonna have to cut it out, but we do have some things to get to. But Jonas says, when do we get Zahn on the podcast?
I mean, never say never, but
I don't know, man. I would love to get some. I'm sure they have crazy contracts where they can't do shit like that, but I would love to get someone who was in. A lot of the Legends writers are no longer writing for Star Wars. I would love to get some of them to chat with us. That would be a really good get, and maybe I'll have to look into pursuing something like that. I think that could be that'd be cool. He seems like he loves the fans. He does, and I don't. He probably hasn't seen the Heir to the Empire trailer, but if I can get it in front of him, maybe that could be a ticket in.
You never know. I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so.
Yeah, it's true. All right, guys, we're going to call it there. Thanks, everyone, for joining. I'm glad we got to chat about the project a lot more, which is good. And we'll be back next week, I believe. Yes. Okay, for Bad Batch episode 14, and then the finale the week after that. So,
and then we got 2 days until Tales of the Empire comes out.
yeah, yes,
Yeah, we're gonna have 2 days to grieve after this. That's it. That's it.
Then we're getting Tales of the Empire. Right on.
Alrighty.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, thanks a lot, and once again, may the force be with you. Thanks for joining.
Peace.
See you later.